crafters, and welcome back. My name is Deepa from DeeZinesByD, and today I have a Scrappy Tails post for you. So Scrappy Tails just dropped its new release yesterday. It's the Heartfelt Wings Collection, and this collection features a whole bunch of beautiful butterflies and birds. Now I have mostly the butterfly half of it, but these are the products that I have, and let's go ahead and take a look. So here's the paper pad. As you can see, we've got a lot of beautiful just designs. You've got florals, you've got patterns, you've got butterflies, and this pad has 24 sheets, 12 designs, 4 of each design. So you've got enough to keep you going there. There's also these new embellishment packs. That's just one of them. I've got the floral wreath here, so you've got like an outline wreath. You could even make like a shaped card with that. I've got the bird cage. Now I'm not going to use that for birds because I don't actually have the bird dies. I also have the butterflies. Now this is the larger butterfly set. You've got 3 large, 1 huge butterfly, which you can make a card out of. It can also be used with the pop-up stand, which I don't have. I got the coordinating dies for that. I've also got this other set of butterflies, and you can see this set differentiates from the first in that the butterflies are smaller and the sentiments are more geared towards Mother's Day. There are a couple generic sentiments in there, but the main generics group of sentiments are in the first set. And then you've also got this set here with all of the beautiful little birds and florals, and I have the coordinating dies for that. So you can see that the products I have this month or this release are a lot of stamps because you know what? Sabrina spent a long time on those stamps, and you can see that it shows. They are stunning. Those butterflies are so detailed and lifelike and beautiful that, you know, I couldn't pass up on those stamps this time. They look so gorgeous, and it's been so snowy here in Canada that these butterflies just bring joy to my life. So I'm so happy that she came out with butterflies for this release. And on top of them being just so pretty, the colors are just so nice to mix together and work with to make these butterflies look even more pretty. Okay, so let's get down to what I'm actually doing. You can see I've got some watercolor paper here, okay? So this is just some cold press white watercolor cardstock, and I'm stamping out the butterfly on it. The largest butterfly from that first butterfly set. It is absolutely, like, look at that. It's so detailed. So I've gone ahead, I stamped it out with VersaFine Clear. I've heated it up a bit just to set the ink. And now I've got these Daniel Smith watercolors. And I'm just going to watercolor this beautiful butterfly. Now, I like using watercolors, and particularly the Daniel Smith. Now, you can see this is just a dot paper, so I only get like a sample of 66 different colors, which I think is amazing. Those little dots go a long way for a project like this. I'm pretty sure some of those dots I've used on other projects. I think only my yellow completely finished, but the rest I still have a lot for other projects. And if you're not an avid watercolor like myself, I'm just learning. I've decided to pick up more painting lately. I'm doing gouache paintings and watercolor. I just thought watercolor would be really nice for the butterfly here. Actually, before I get into all of that, let's go ahead and look at the technique here. You can see that I've added water, just plain water, to the little sections, and I'm not kind of overlapping them. I'm doing one section at a time. I put down the yellow on one end, I put down the purple on the other end, and then I'm taking another brush or the purple brush with a little bit of water to just blend it in. So you can see when you put the water down and then you add the color just spreads throughout the water. That's why it's important to only do like one section at a time. Now for this butterfly, you can see that the sections are all basically going to look the same. So you don't really have to go section by section, but it does give a better effect if you do. It's really up to you and the amount of time that you have. So I've gone ahead and I filled in all of the rest of the sections in the exact same way, yellow on one side, purple on the other, and then mix in the middle. Just allow them to mix with like a plain brush or the purple brush in the middle. And then on the edges, I'm adding more of like a reddish purple in order to make the rest of it stand out. And then I also have like a luminescent type of like a shimmer watercolor that's like a gold and like an interference type color that I'm using for those sections that have a lot of the lines, a lot of those striations that Sabrina's added there, because I want those to really shine. I want them to have a nice shiny look to them. So you can see that I filled those in that same way. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side of the butterfly. Now in the end, I'm going to end up covering a little bit of the butterfly with some floral die cuts from that floral wreath set. But I did want to fill in and watercolor the entire butterfly just to maintain all those colors, and so I don't have to worry about covering things up where there's no watercolor. And I'm just going to continue to watercolor in the exact same manner. Now, I learned from the first half that on the second half where I used those interference shiny shimmery golds, that I want to keep that a little bit thicker, so less water when I add that to the cardstock here. And for the purples and the yellows, I went over it once and then went over a second time. And then once that was dry, I used the purple again. As you can see here, I'm just adding flicks. The flicks just give it striations and give it more of a realistic look. It allows the blend from the purple to the yellow to look more like it has like a texture to it. And when I'm doing this, I'm making sure the brush isn't like saturated with water. It's got the color on it, and then I take off a little bit and then I do these striations so that the color is kind of like vibrant and it shows up there on the yellow. So that's how I finished off the butterfly. Now I'm also going to go ahead and do the little center with some browns and a little bit of interference white, like a white shimmer. So now that's completely done. Now what I want to do next is grab that floral wreath and I'm going to cut it apart, but that whole section in the center there, it has all of the little floral bits and the little vines. I'm going to cut that out, but I'm going to keep them all together because that just makes it easier when I do my die cutting. So I'll cut that section out. I'll die cut it out of some plain white cardstock, and then all I'm going to do is start adding some inks to them. So I'm using this process that I normally use. So I've die cut all the pieces. If they come out, I'll inlay them back in while having some sticky washi tape underneath so that it stays in place while I add my ink. Now for the leafy bits, I'm adding some, I think it's a grass field and some hunter green here from Altenew, and I'm not adding it in any specific way. I'm literally just putting that lighter green on and then adding a bit of the darker for a bit of, it's mountain pine, for a little bit of differentiation of the green so that it has a bit of depth to it. And then all of these other tiny little pieces I'm just popping out. I didn't even have to use the washi tape on those. I just didn't pop them out after I die cut them. Now for the flowers, I have some, I think, what is it? It's ultraviolet and some Andromeda from Altenew, but as I put it on, I realized it has a bluish tone to it. This is where using a swatch book of all your ink colors comes in handy. And I do have one. I was just too impatient. I just wanted to add my colors. So then I went back and I grabbed some Cosmic Berry and some Purple Wine. So as you can tell by the names, they have more of a purpley reddish tone, just like the butterfly does. So I've added that on there. And after I added that, I kind of compared it with the butterfly and I thought, you know, I still need a bit more red in here. So I grabbed some Velvet, which is like the darkest red of one of the red groups from Altenew. Once I added that, it had enough red to match the butterfly and I was good to go. Now getting back to what I was trying to say earlier, sorry it took me this long to get to it, but those Daniel Smith dot watercolors are absolutely perfect for somebody who's just starting out because you get all of those colors, you can try it, and then when you find things that you like and you get a little better, then you can spend the money on those tubes, which are pretty expensive if you don't watercolor a lot. Okay, so now you can see that the butterfly, those flowers match the butterfly completely. We'll move on to 3 of the yellow tones. So I've got maple yellow and I think some fresh lemon here. They're very yellow. I want to add a bit of an orangish or like a brownish tinge. So I'm going to add some Sunkissed to this as well. And that's going to make it fit in with the yellow that I have on my watercolored butterfly as well. So now that I have all of those flowers done, I'm going to go and cut out some more pieces from some gold cardstock, some gold mirror, and some gold glitter. And those are just going to add a bit more shine, just like our butterfly has. I'll put those aside and go ahead and cut out our butterfly here. So I've got the coordinating die. I'm just lining it up and putting it through my die cutting machine. And once that's done, I can go ahead and work on the card base. So the card base is going to be the butterfly shaped card base here. And I'm not measuring anything. I just kind of put my die down. I kind of drew a couple tick marks to indicate how big I would want it. I cut it, I scored it, and now I've got like my folded card. Now all I have to do is place my die on that card where I want the fold to be. So you could do it sideways like that, but then you would only have one connecting piece. So I decided to go with the top of the butterfly. So I'm just going to line this up on the cardstock there, allowing that die to sit just a little bit over top of the score line. So you can see it was just peeking out over the top. Now when I put it through my die cutting machine, you're going to keep that score line in there to create the butterfly, but you're still going to take that full shape on of the die. So once I take this out, be careful with the little antenna there. You can see that it all kind of connects. And there you have your butterfly card. Now there is a stand that comes with the that you can purchase from the Scrappy Tails store, and you can kind of just use this as a pop-up, so you can stand it up and your recipient can put it on their mantle or something like that. I don't have that here, but that is available if that's something you were looking for. As always, I do have a link to the store in the description below, so go ahead and click there and shop if you'd like. And if you just want to look at the products I've used, I have all of the supplies that I've used in this video in the in my blog. It's linked in my blog, which is linked in the description below. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've stamped out one of the sentiments here. So you can see from that larger butterfly set, you get more of like thank yous and sending love and just generic sentiments like that. I've gone ahead and I heat embossed the thanks, heartfelt thanks sentiment. I die cut that out. And now I'm taking another thank you sentiment, which also comes with the set. I'm going to stamp this on the inside of the card. And I'm doing some mass stamping, which I like to do. I've got some Chianti VersaFine Clair ink here. It matches perfectly with the purple on the butterfly, so I thought I'd do the thanks in that color. I didn't get like a full impression, so I'm just going to add a little bit more and I'll stamp it out again. And then what I'll do is I'll clean off my stamp, very important. I'll mask off the thanks, so that's covered, and then I'll add some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink to all of the printed font. Then I will take off the mask, I will stamp, and then I have a beautiful dual color sentiment for the inside of the card to match the front. Now, while I have a moment here, I just want to say sorry in advance. I don't know if you're noticing my voice kind of going in and out, sounding a little stuffy and sometimes not. I've been sick for the longest time, and it's just something that I just can't shake. It comes, it goes, and it doesn't go away. So sorry about that. Okay, so we have that all stamped out. It looks very pretty with the two colors. Now we can go ahead and assemble the front of the card. So I haven't attached it yet. You can see I've kept it separate from the card base, but I'm just adding these flowers just along the right edge of the butterfly wing. And I'm adding the yellow, the purple, and that mirror gold, which just adds an extra bit of shine and looks absolutely stunning. Okay, so the trick to this and having it stand out, you can see the florals. They look pretty, but they kind of, they mix in with the background because they're the same colors. So that's why I added these green fronds, these green little leaves and twiggy bits. The green kind of breaks up the purple and the yellow, and it just helps it stand out a little bit more. You'll see once I put everything down, it will just look absolutely gorgeous. And that green you need one color to kind of make the others pop. I always find that really helps. Now you've probably seen these designs before in an actual stamp where everything is stamped down. You have all of the florals stamped down or stencil or something like that. So I really wanted to make a kind of 3D version of it by using the floral dies that we have here and putting it on this gorgeous butterfly. So I really hope that this gives like a different look. I know you've probably seen the floral butterfly before, but this one's a little different with all of those die cut pieces. So hopefully you're encouraged to purchase some of these dies or use what you have on hand. I mean, it's going to be hard to find a butterfly like this because this is gorgeous, but definitely, grab the stamp set and even use some of the dies that you have to go along with this. So after putting together the front, I realized that my inside is missing a little bit. So I added some of the extra little flowers that I had left over and a sprig of, I think I only had one extra long leaf frond left. So I added that there, plus one of the glitter flowers. And so that just kind of finishes up the design on the inside of the card. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my sentiment to the, oh, I think I already did that. Oops. Okay, yeah, so I added my sentiment with some foam tape to that butterfly after I added all the flowers. And now I'm adding some adhesive to the card base here. And I'll just attach the actual butterfly. So now all of the main elements of this card are complete. I'm going to grab that new pack of embellishments here. It's really nice. It has like some clay flowers in there. You've got some yellow and some white pearls. And you've also got some clear gems as well, which are really nice. So I'm just adding a mix of those. I've actually got some crystal gems on the small little glitter flowers. I've got some of those yellow pearls, and I added a couple of those clear gems just for a bit of variation. And now I've got my diamond stickles, and I'm going to town on this on this butterfly with the diamond stickles. I'm adding it to the flowers to give it shine, and then I'm adding it to those gold interference colored or watercolored areas to give it even more shine. And that's my butterfly shaped card for you today. So I hope that you've been inspired to create something similar yourself. As I mentioned, all of the links are in the description below. Go ahead and click and shop or take a look at the products that I've used in my blog. I hope you guys get a chance to look at the new release. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys again soon. We have a hop that's going to be going on next week, so tune in for that. Bye.